Hello, Aquarius. Thank you so much, you guys, as always, for being here. Okay, Aquarius, so looking at your third week of November, you pulled Sacrifice, Surrender, and Atonement. This may be about you resisting letting go of something out of a sense of duty or responsibility. And the first thing that I wanted to say saying this is stop punishing yourself, right? So sacrifice is talking about letting go of something for your own benefit. And surrender is basically saying the same thing, but it's highlighting the resistance that you may have been keeping in place out of a sense of duty. And I say that because of atonement. The sentence for this says, accepting the full burden of responsibility, the fair as well as the unfair with no discount. So that immediately says to me that whatever it is that you're resisting letting go of, it's like you're not seeing how the situation may be unfair. It's just, it's my responsibility to hang on to this, but it's hurting you, and that's the problem, right? So the sentence says, accepting pain is a way to survive the pain. Not all things burn, but some should. And it's almost like, yeah, I should be punishing myself for something. And I don't know if that's because of the whole feeling of unfairness. I don't think that that's accurate. It's not an accurate way to see the situation. So it almost feels like a burden has been placed on you, and it's like I'm taking it up now. It's my responsibility to deal with this. But this could be something that you've been hanging on to for a while. And with sacrifice, it's like it's time for you to let that go now. But again, there's like this resistance. Not wanting to let it go because there's a need to feel the pain from it. And that may be for, only some of you, but regardless, like I said, the first thing I wanted to say there is stop punishing yourself. Especially if, this is about something that was done or said to you, and for some reason you feel like you're responsible for what took place. Like, I don't think that that's a fair way of looking at the situation, right? But whatever you've been hanging on to that's been causing you pain, it's time to let it go. Your overall, the Five of Swords. Oof. Okay. So with the Five of Swords being the overall here, we could be talking about you dealing with somebody who does not care about how you think or feel. And it's like getting to the point where you realize that it's pointless to continue this conversation, or it's pointless to continue this fight or this argument, whatever the situation may be, right? This is the no-win situation. And a lot of times for me, this is like verbal abuse. Somebody intentionally saying something to get the reaction that they want. But this may be a catalyst for change for you, right? In the past, the Queen of Cups, okay. And the difficult part here for me is this is like, I've been open and nurturing to your emotions, but you don't see that, right? Like, you're dealing with somebody that will never see your side or how you were feeling. But this to me indicates you coming in with a level of compassion for the emotions of another. But it feels like it's been taken advantage of. But it's like pulling on your emotional good nature. So at one point you were open and loving, but because of the words or the actions of another, this may change, right? Yeah, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. My emotions are now wore out. And the feeling of apathy and disinterest, and then there's the self-loathing too, if I could talk right. And I'm going back to sacrifice in your oracle cards and looking at it, and yeah, right? It's time to let this go now, especially if it's leaving you in a place of not necessarily the woe is me, but it's kind of like this feeling of I should have known. Like I should have known that the situation wasn't going to change or it wasn't going to be any different. but this is like being wore out by it. Okay, future conditions, the Two of Cups. So, you know, in looking at this, I feel like the reason why you're pulling on the Queen of Cups is because there's a part of you that still very much has like feelings or love for someone in particular. And with the Two of Cups, you have that connection, you have that relationship. This is, you know, you and another person seeing things the same way and feeling the same way. But something is creating conflict within that. And, you know, despite how you may be feeling in the present moment with the Four of Cups, you still very much care. You still very much care. Wow, man. Your best path to follow, the Three of Cups. Now, if we're looking at relationships where you know you're in a no-win situation, that this person does not see things the way that you do, they do not take your feelings into consideration, and you understand that you're being kind of like wore out by that emotionally with the Four of Cups, the Three of Cups would be indicating that it's time now to change the group of people and the relationships that you get involved with, because this is all about, you know, the supportive people, the people who want to celebrate the accomplishments that you have made. And I don't think that this is about you needing to continue to support somebody who isn't willing to see how much you care. I think that this is an understanding of, you know, there may be other people around you that see the situation and are going, you know, hey, right? Like, you might want to think about making a different choice here. I understand how you feel, but things are not going in the right direction with the Five of Swords. And this may be needing to listen to the advice of others as well. The relationships that you have in your life are what is important right now. Not just the one-on-one, but the group. And if you're experiencing issues with a one-on-one situation, then the group that knows you, understands you, and supports you may be the ones to kind of help you get past the I still care, right? Because it's understandable. You have love for somebody, you have love for them. But this is not being reciprocated, right? Who else had this? I think it was Capricorn. Justice in your environment. You know, and again, right, like accountability. Okay, so going back to your oracle cards and this feeling of punishing yourself. If something happened within a relationship, I do think that there is a part of you that takes responsibility for that. But because of the Four of Cups, I think you're tired of feeling bad all the time. It's almost like with the Five of Swords, somebody continuously pointing out the mistakes that you made, but not willing to take accountability for their own. So you're looking at emotionally being wore out by this, not interested in getting involved anymore, tired of looking at this situation continuously going the same way, but having strong emotions still coming through. But it pushing you to a point now where constantly having to take accountability for a situation that, you know, you have done everything that you can to try to correct, I think is going to be the breaking point for you. And you're going to be looking at, well, what is the fair and balanced choice here for you within this relationship? You may still care, but you can't continuously be in a situation where you're forever being punished for a mistake. That's what I want to say. Your hopes and your fears, the Seven of Wands, this is like hoping that what you have to say will be heard. And not only that, but that you're communicating from a place where you are protecting your own values. This is like I need to be able to speak up about how I feel about this without being told that I have no right to. Wow, man. And this relationship, I feel like, is so important to you. And it doesn't matter if this is romantic or not. And I think that there is a supportive group around you that sees what's going on. And their input may be valuable to you right now in helping you to create, this balance for you where you're not constantly having to take accountability, right? Like, I can't get past that feeling, but this is something that someone that you very much care about. But you can't keep feeling the same way about this and not see the situation being balanced out. But I don't think that that's your fault, because here you're hoping that you're not going to be shot down for saying what you need to say. Coming out the Knight of Cups, and I'm looking back at the Three of Cups, and what I immediately feel like here is emotional support that may be coming through, and I'm looking at a change in a relationship for you. And this may be a connection with somebody who has gone through the same thing. I'm telling you, that Knight of Cups feels really good to me coming out, especially with the Two of Cups being future conditions, because this is like somebody understands. And it's like they've had to experience the same thing of like, I'm done with this. I'm walking away from it. I've had enough. There's no point in even saying anything anymore. And like, I get you. I get you. I'm here for you. I understand this feeling. I know where you're coming from. The Queen of Wands. The Seven of Coins or the Seven of Pentacles. And then you have the Seven of Cups. Ugh. And this may be where the emotional support needs to come in, because you may be looking at, the choices here as, I don't know if this is the right thing to do. I don't know how I feel about that, right? The Queen of Wands, though, and the Queen of Cups. I'm looking at this emotional support that may be coming through for you. This is somebody that wants to have an emotional connection with you, that understands where you're coming from. But they understand because, they were a part of the same situation. And this person may have significance here. And they may be coming in the form of the Queen of Wands, where it's helping you to find confidence again to be able to voice how you feel without being shut down. So this could be the person coming through, giving that emotional support, or they're bringing a part of you back where it may have been clouded by the way that you feel, because the relationship is still important. And with the Four of Cups and looking at the Seven of Coins and Justice, right, reevaluating the situation and looking at, if you do things differently, could there be potential growth, or could there be more growth? And I think that there is a confident part of you where absolutely that could be the case. But I would say with the Seven of Cups, it's kind of like, yeah, you may be not seeing it right. Like, that may be an option, but are you just fantasizing about a different outcome that may not exist? That's what I want to say. And that may be where this emotional support is coming through. Now, on the other hand, though, with the Knight of Cups, this could be about the action that you take. And it's about acting from your heart. Leading with your heart, leading with your emotions, and trying to communicate that in the best way to kind of like salvage a relationship, it almost feels like. But again, because of the Three of Cups being your advice, I think that this is somebody that has been through the same situation with the same person, or has had almost exactly the same experience. And this is about the support that is now being given to you, right? Whew. But, I'm looking at, I really feel like this is going to have to do with a situation where you are constantly being made to feel accountable for what may be going on with somebody else. And it could be a mistake that was made. But you can't keep feeling that way, right? And I think that you know that, but this relationship is important. But I think that, you know, another relationship is going to be coming through that's like, I see what you're going through. Love. Yeah. Adventure. And then possibilities. And what I love about this is that love may be creating this sense of adventure for you. And it doesn't have to be romantic love. It could be love for another human being that gets you and understands what you're experiencing. But love creates the, you know, the path for a new adventure where possibilities are endless. But you have to experience something different. That's what I'm feeling like. Like there's something different that can be experienced in love. I'm telling you, new moon in Aquarius, bring love into the situation, which you already have. That's what you have been doing. But it's almost like, don't let the situation taint you, even if you're dealing with somebody who does not hear you. And then luck is on your side. And I'm looking at this Knight of Wands coming through and thinking, yeah, you know, in this support and in this better understanding relationship. But it's not just about somebody saying to you, you need to leave this person, da 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 da. It's not that, right? The cackling hen syndrome that tends to happen with the Three of Cups sometimes. That's not what's going on here. This is more like creating a bond with somebody that understands what you're going through because they've dealt with the same person or the same thing. But this is luck. This is what you need to, I think, kind of help you get out of this constantly taking accountability where there's no reason why things can't be fair and balanced.